Hey, it's Dovitate from Dragon. Today, I'm going to be showing you how to use all of the current standalone devices from our plugins. Linear is a plugin which, when it is given a note, it automatically draws a line on the launchpad, which is defined in the plugin. You can manually select the start and end point to edit, and the line generated on the launchpad will follow. You can even extend the lines to the edge buttons of the launchpad. And if you don't want to manually click between the start and end points constantly, then you can just set your start point and then hold Shift to set your end point. If you want your line to be curved and not straight, then you can simply adjust this curve knob here. You can adjust your light effect speed with this knob right here. And if you need more fine control, there is a speed % knob down here. You can generate complex light effects using linear by chaining devices together. If one linear is placed after another, then the light effect coming out of the first device will be ignored until it ends, at which point the second device will trigger its light effect, allowing you to create much more complex light effects using this plugin. Next is Macro Filter. Now, Macro Filter works inside of a MIDI effect rack or an instrument rack, and all it does is block incoming notes unless the defined macro matches a value that is allowed through on the macro filter. The primary use case for this is to set up pages in a Launchpad project without having to map any chain selectors. The macro filter has ranges from 0 to 99. You can individually select a number on this wheel here in order to block or allow it, or you can click on the grid to allow certain chains to go through. The currently selected chain will display in this knob here along with whether it is blocked or passed. So if we use macro filter to set chains 0 through 3 to passed, then while macro 1 is set to 0, 1, 2, or 3, then notes will be let through. However, if it is a number which is blocked in the macro filter, then notes will not go through. This makes page setup incredibly easy in beginner Launchpad projects. Next is Note Filter. Note Filter works exactly the same as the Apollo Note Filter. There are Select All and Deselect All buttons, as well as the plugin simply working exactly as expected. Palette Adapter allows you to convert light effects from one color palette to another. So for instance, I am currently using the Dragon MXOS palette on Microlight, and as such, the light effect here doesn't quite look right, as it was made for the Mattiazzi color palette. So we can use Palette Adapter to convert one color palette to the other. So to convert the colors in a light effect, simply select Load Project Palette, and then you will select the color palette that your light effect uses, and then select Device Palette, which is the palette that you want to convert the light effect to using. Then make sure to hit the Convert button, and then if you scroll through the edit dials, you will see everything is remapped as close as it can get. And if you are not satisfied with a conversion for a particular color, for instance this cyan becoming a white, you can simply adjust the value manually using these dials, and it will save with your project file. But once your palette is converted, you can see that your light effect has the correct color scheme. And the final plugin on the list is Prism. Prism is a plugin which allows you to effectively draw your light effect onto the Launchpad to create light effects with minimal effort. So for instance, you can simply draw a random shape on a light effect, and when given an incoming note, the light effect will play. To change the direction that by default, the light effect comes from the middle. However, if you want to change the direction the light effect comes from, you can hold Shift and click on any edge or corner of the Launchpad. To change the speed of the light effect, you click on the top of this color length tab here. That will allow you to set the frame length, which is the speed of the light effect. You can change how the light effect itself moves by changing this from sharp to flat, which will change the exact motion of the light effect. If we allow the entire device to pass through, then we can see the difference between each underlying effect. You are able to directly draw a light effect into this plugin by clicking the play button and setting it to draw. This will allow you to use incoming notes to draw the light effect on the plugin. And if you want to add a splash of color, then there is a color picker here below, which syncs with the Spectrum device, and the plugin can interact with eyedrop in order to easily select light effects for the gradient. And that's how you use all the standalone plugins from 314Dragon. Thanks for watching.